Arrakis is calling, and scattered across the vast desert is infinite knowledge, if you know where to look. My name is Codiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today we're revealing the locations and benefits of every trainer in Dune Awakening. Guys, if there's one thing we understand, it's Dune Awakening. Livid, bless his soul, spent over 150 hours scouring the test servers. The test servers, guys, a place where we couldn't even record or capture content. The man is so dedicated to this game that all I had to do was show up and talk to a camera for a few minutes, because at the end of the day, there is no one I trust more than Livid to dissect this game. Now in this video, we're going to lay out the locations of every trainer in Dune Awakening, something the game doesn't tell you. There's a very real chance you could miss a key trainer that unlocks a new skill tree, thus hindering your progression, and that's the last thing that we want. So sit back, soak in the Arrakis sun, and let's do this thing. From the very first moments you're dropped into Haga Basin South, your goal should be to unlock the Trooper, one of the most flexible classes available in the game. In fact, if you're still wondering which class you should pick during the initial character customization, we highly recommend you don't pick the Trooper, as it's the first and arguably the easiest class to unlock in the game. To find the Trooper trainer, you need to reach Griffin's Reach trade post, which is located here in northern Haga Basin South. Inside the trade post, directly to your left from the entrance, you'll want to talk to Gavori, who will grant you the quest Proving Grounds. This is relatively straightforward, but still incredibly dangerous during the early parts of the game. From Griffin's Reach trade post, you'll need to head east to the far side of Haga Basin South and kill 3 targets that are hiding in 3 different POIs, all of which are caves. First is Atu Golvin, located in Khalif's Stand. Second is Kirsi Toll in Shamil Tunnel, and third is Cardenas Olin in Edgeway Cavern. Upon killing these 3 targets, you can return to Gavori at Griffin's Reach trade post, and he'll reward you by unlocking the Trooper skill tree. The Trooper provides you with 2 very important additions to the hybrid class you'll be building. The first is mobility in multiple ways. His active ability, Shigawire Claw, is the single best traversal skill in the game. When combined with any suspensor belt, you can quite literally catapult yourself around the world, horizontally and vertically, and that quite literally unlocks the world for you to explore. The second form of mobility is a technique called Suspensor Dash. This allows you to dash in any direction mid-air at the cost of some power drain on your power pack. This gives you on-demand evade that moves you much further than your normal dodge and can assist you in dodging nearly any projectile, explosive, or threat in the game with no cooldown. You just have to keep an eye on your power. The second thing the Trooper allows you to tap into is straight-up damage. Whether it's through the abilities that grant you grenades and explosive seeker drones, or more passive buffs that increased range damage or disruptor damage, the Trooper gives you all the tools to be a much deadlier threat in a fight. Found within Haga Basin South is the first trainer that unlocks the Planetologist skill tree, a fantastic secondary set of skills that enhance your exploration and resource gathering, and something you'll want to invest in heavily if you plan on reaching the endgame and exploring the deep desert. Derek Chinara can be found slightly northeast of Testing Station Number 2, a major point of interest in this zone and a place integral to this questline. Upon reaching Derek in his mountainous camp, he'll offer you the quest Mnemic Film Recovery, which requires you to enter the aforementioned Testing Station Number 2. Now this is no small feat, as this will most likely be your first foray into one of the game's many dungeon-like environments. Testing stations are fantastic locations for loot, and this one can single-handedly supply you with the parts you need for your first sand bike, but they're also filled with enemies and traps, so it's best to bring along a friend or two, you have them. Your goal inside the testing station is to find the Imperial Testing Station records, which is cleverly hidden in a side room, only accessible by triggering this hidden bookshelf denoted by a glowing orange line. It is entirely possible that you missed this item while still clearing the entire dungeon, so be sure you've located the quest item from the case on the table before you leave. Bring the Imperial Testing Station records back to Derek at his camp, and he'll unlock the Planetologist skill tree. This class is absolutely fundamental to your long-term success because it provides you with so many different passive effects that affect nearly everything you touch during progression. On one hand, you'll enable more fuel-efficient ornithopters and less durability loss when repairing your vehicles. On the other hand, you'll be able to increase your yields while mining, collecting water, and even spice during the endgame with spice crawlers. If that wasn't enough, the class also enables you to create sync charts of areas you've surveyed. These transfer all the information you reveal in an area and allow you to share or sell that information to other players. The Planetologist doesn't feature any impressive active abilities, but that's okay. This class is there to help you be more efficient during your entire progression. Once you reach Vermilius Gap, the second zone after Haga Basin, you'll have a central location where you can stage all of your operations. Reaching this part of your progression means you can access more class trainers, the easiest of which is the Mentat. In order to find Salmon Moro, the Mentat trainer, we'll actually need to head east to Haga Rift and the Harkonnen base, Riftwatch. However, before you do that, you'll want to bring with you 100 plant fiber and 40 iron ore, as you'll need them as part of the upcoming quest. Bringing them now will shave off at least 15 to 20 minutes of hard work. Salmon Moro is located here, right at the base of this big set of stairs within Riftwatch. This base is rather sprawling, so you might end up wandering a bit before you eventually find her, but look for the glowing blue orb near her head, and you'll know you're at the right spot. Talk to her and accept the contract First Blood, and since you brought the plant fiber and iron, you can skip right to step 3, which requires you to plant the poison. This is going to take you back to Vermilius Gap and the Mendius Gate point of interest. This is an overrun marketplace, and there are multiple ways to get into and out of this outpost, so approach it however you see fit. There are numerous enemies inside, so be prepared with weapons, armor, ammo, and consumables, because this is easily on par with a testing facility in terms of enemy density. Once you reach the actual marketplace, you'll want to pick up the blue identification band, as this will give you access to the raid door located nearby. Enter the side room, and inside next to the chest is a device you can interact with. This serves no purpose other than completing this stage of the quest. Once you plant the poison, you can return to Salmon Moro at Riftwatch, and she'll train you in the ways of the Mentat. This is actually one of my favorite classes in the game, as it gives you a lot of early tools that you can utilize in combat. The turret is surprisingly good at taking down larger shielded enemies, and is perfectly fine at killing smaller enemies, which is great if you're solo. Other abilities like the Poison Dart are situational for both PvE and eventually PvP encounters. To unlock the Swordmaster in Dune Awakening, you'll need to spend a little time traveling. Luckily, you don't need an ornithopter to make the trek. Sandbike will do just fine. It's just going to take you a minute. To find the Swordmaster class trainer, you'll need to reach Arno at Pinnacle Station. This is located right on the edge of Jabal Efret al-Jaharb and the Eastern Shield Wall, and it's best if you approach it from the south and western Vermilius Gap. Once you cross over into the new zone, consult your map regularly and be on the lookout for quicksand, because it's very possible to get turned around or trapped during your travel. Once you reach Arno, he'll offer you the chance to learn from him, but first you'll need to complete the quest checking the post. This will take you to 3 different points of interest and is easily the most involved class quest you'll have done up until this point. First, we need to clear Devil's Eye Cavern, which is straight east of your current location. You can safely traverse the area between Pinnacle Station and your destination, just be wary of how rocky the terrain can be. Once you reach the cavern, you'll want to clear it out and search the containers until the quest objective updates. Part 2 of the quest requires that you head back to Western Vermilius Gap and the wreck of the Palace, a massive ship that crashed in the middle of the desert. This is a PvP area, so it's possible to be attacked while you're exploring. Search the wreck and get the necessary identification bands to open the various ray shields along the way. The one you might struggle to locate is for the first door barrier, which can be found inside another door that requires you to use your cut array to open up the catwalk on the ship. It's the one bathed in a red glow. Eventually, you'll reach the far end of the ship, which would have been the bridge. There, against the far wall, is an inconspicuous cabinet. Interact with it, and your quest will be updated. For the last step of the quest, you'll need to explore Testing Station 76, which is located in Jabal Efret al-Janub, southeast of Pinnacle Station. Like the other testing stations, this is a massive dungeon-like environment with high enemy density. It's best to tackle this with at least one other friend, but if solo is your only option, make sure to bring loads of ammo and health kits, because there are times when you'll have to fight multiple enemies at once with no great escape routes. Keep exploring until you reach this room. It's easy enough to identify because of the clear false bookshelf denoted by the glowing orange line. However, our quest actually requires that we interact with the computer-like device in the middle of the room. Doing so will satisfy the last step of the quest. At this point, you can make your way back to Pinnacle Station. Talk to Arno and he'll fulfill his end of the deal and teach you the ways of the Swordmaster. As you might suspect, this is a melee-focused skill tree that's entirely combat-oriented. If you plan on using blades or you want to make sure you can easily take down shielded enemies, this is the best tree to invest points into, as both the active and passive abilities will protect you while also ensuring maximum damage to your foes. If you hope to unlock the Bene Gesserit in Dune Awakening, you better be ready to travel halfway across Arrakis. You'll first need to locate Sister Mesa, a priestess located at the House Atreides base, Helios Gate. If you've already unlocked the Swordmaster, this shouldn't be too hard to reach as it's just south of that location. But, and this is a big but, the base is located on the top of the eastern shield wall, which is nearly impossible to climb. Approach it from the north and you should be fine. Once you reach the base, talk to Sister Mesa located here on the left side of the facility. She'll offer you the chance to learn the Bene Gesserit class so long as you're willing to complete her contract, The Missing Pieces. This requires you to find 2 sacred texts at 2 different locations, and prepare yourself because they're not exactly easy to reach. To obtain the first text, you'll need to reach Stone Step Village in the northeast of the Oodam region. You'll want to approach this from the top of the western shield wall, as it's the best way to make it inside, and with the help of the troopers Shigwire Claw and Suspensor Belt combo, it's a breeze. Drop down safely onto the ledge below and make your way down until you reach the same level as the patrolling guards. Turn around and stand on the ledge and you'll see this case sitting atop some runes. Inside, you'll find the first text. The second text is located within Rockwarren Village in the southwest of the Oodam region. This time, you'll work your way through the main entrance, which starts at this natural-looking bridge. Fight your way through until you see some red glowing lights. Just across the gap is the second text you'll need for the priestess. With both required items in hand, you can head back to Helios Gate and Sister Mesa. Turn in both items and she'll teach you the ways of the Bene Gesserit. This is unlike any other class in the game and the closest thing you'll find to magic in Dune Awakening. Using the power of voice, you can manipulate yourself and your enemies. The Bene Gesserit excels in combination with melee abilities because most of their skills involves immobilizing or getting up close to enemies. On the other hand, the Bene Gesserit has one of the most important passive skill trees in the game, raising your max health, increasing your potency of healing items, and allowing you to effectively neutralize poison effects. Overall, there are more than a fair share of combat abilities and passives that can help round out an interesting Dune Awakening build. So there you have it, all of the class trainers in Dune Awakening and a bit about each of their playstyle. If you have any questions about this guide, do me a solid, leave us a comment below, and as always, if you appreciate the work that goes into making this video, hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing. We'll have more Dune Awakening in your feed soon, so keep it right here and don't miss a thing. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.